The night was young, but already bitter. My cider was warm, the jukebox was cold, and the woman 2 stools down had a voice like a cheese grater chewing through tinfoil. I was trying to find a song that didn't remind me of broken hearts or bounced checks. $1 per song, highway robbery with jazz accompaniment. She was yammering into her receiver, checking in with her friend. Probably someone with more secrets than friends tend to stomach. But it wasn't a voice that got my attention, it was what was behind her. A fresh arrest notice. Blue eyes, Kudo Heights, floor 10. No name, no past, just a face and a reward. An easy job. One of those run-up, knock-knock, cuff-and-collect types. That's what I thought, at least. The streets were cold, full of life that didn't want you to see it. A woman puffing a cigarette like it owed her money. A beggar praying to a wallet that wasn't listening. I kept walking, straight, casual, pretending like I wasn't halfway in the bag. I totally wasn't inebriated. Kudo Heights, the kind of building that still smelled like the 70s, and not in a nostalgic way. I hit floor 10. I had the details. Suspect was short, blue eyes, size 6 shoes, probably a woman based on the size, but assumptions get you killed in the city, so I'd wait to see. Then the radio crackled. New priority, fresh blood. 403 Marshall, a murder. I dropped the bounty like a burnt match and ran for it. Didn't wait for the elevator, I wanted to be first. I barreled up the stairs like someone was erasing the crime scene behind me. Past a blonde woman on the way, small thing, looked spooked, and a guy with long, greasy hair who looked like he could use a bath, and a priest. But I'd overshot the floor, so I doubled back. By the time I got to 403, the uniforms were already there. Crowbarring the door open with all the subtlety of a marching band. They wouldn't let me through, so I did what I always do. Found another way. Knocked on 401. A tall woman named Yao opened up, looked at me like I owed her rent, said she didn't hear or see a thing. Real helpful. Tried 402. A real firecracker, that one. No name, no answers. Just a firm hand on the doorknob and a look that could dry concrete. So I waited, watched. Then the badge turned around for half a second, and I was in. I started in the empty bedroom. Couldn't bring myself to see the body just yet. Call it cowardice. Or maybe I didn't want my first dead face of the day to be the kind I couldn't unsee. The nightstand was open. Inside was a scrap of paper. VD password, countdown from 7. 7654. Easy enough, but the kind of detail you tuck away for later, like a loaded gun under the pillow. Moved into the kitchenette. A threatening note was stuck to the wall. To the jerk who keeps messing with my mail, cut it out, or I'll call the enforcers. Handwriting was tight. Angry, paranoid, a good cocktail for getting murdered. Cracked open the phone stand. Work rota. One name stood out. Vibnov Darling. My VD. The victim. An enforcer too. Poor bastard. Then I saw him. Slumped on the floor like a marionette with its strings cut. Blood soaking the carpet. Shot in the back. No signs of a struggle. He'd been caught mid-rise from the couch. No time to scream, barely time to think. On the floor around him, symbols. Strange, twisting things drawn in blood. Not art, not accidental, intentional. Ritualistic. I found 2 8mm shell casings, bagged them in my head. B. The victim was A. Simple, clean, cold. I saw his computer, and I used the password, 7654. First thing I saw was the name on the profile. Vibnov Darling. Confirmed. This was his place, his murder, his old body. Then the phone rang. I bolted to it, but too late. Silence, just the kind that makes your skin itch. I went back to his computer. I dug into his inbox. Argument with a coworker. Abigail. Bad blood. Tense words. Something to follow up on. And then I hit gold. A personal diary entry. He'd been stalked for weeks. Average build. Tall, short hair. Male. Maybe average weight. Vague. Yeah, but vague's better than nothing when you're working with a city this full of nobodies. I decided to check out his work next. So I crossed over to City Hall, Iota Enforcer Division, the blue line between order and chaos. Or so the posters say. They had an employee board, smiles and uniforms, but one stood out. Ryan Gusera, Captain, boss of the dead man, tall, average build, short hair, male. Fit the profile. Fit a little too well, if you know what I mean. So I looked around a little bit. Went up the stairs, went down the hall, left and right, different divisions, and I found a terminal someone forgot to log out of. Their mistake, my miracle. Searched Kusera's file, 1601 Stewart Towers. And more than that, fingerprints. They matched. The ones I found at the scene, enough to make my hands shake. I grabbed the water cup, dropped it before it reached my lips. Nerves, real ones. If I was right, I wasn't chasing a killer. I was chasing his captain. So I snagged a non-lethal from an evidence locker. Wasn't planning to use it, but planning doesn't mean much in this town. Whispers in the hall called the killer the Sweet Tooth Assassin. Which was cute, but I preferred something else. Turncoat. When I got to the 16th floor of Stewart Towers, I watched a woman leave his apartment. Maybe just a neighbor, maybe not, maybe both. Either way, I didn't wait. I slammed the door open. He flew back like guilt had weight. Out cold. I cuffed him, woke him, read him his rights, even if he didn't deserve them.
You think I'm the only killer in this city?
I asked him, why? And he said,
The red gums.
So I looked around, disgusted with him. Fingerprints, match. Lazarus 5 pistol on the counter, match. Motive, still missing. But I had enough for a shut case. Paperwork got filed. Pink-haired clerks stamped it with a kind of enthusiasm usually reserved for funeral directors. Said it looked solid. Case closed. It didn't feel closed. Who were the red gums? Why did they chew through one of their own? And how many more captains wore their badge over a loaded conscience? Questions echo in this city longer than gunshots. I keep walking anyway.